السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. حمده نصلي على رسول الله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن المجيد: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. هو الذي أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على دين كله وكفى بالله شهيدا. محمد رسول الله والذين معه أشداء على الكفار رحماء بينهم تراهم ركعا سجدا يبتغون فضلا من الله ورضوانا سيماهم في وجوههم من أثر السجود ذلك مثلهم في التوراة ومثلهم في الإنجيل كزرع أخرج شطأه فزرعه فاستغلظ فاستوى على سوقه يحب الزراع ليغيظ بهم الكفار. وعد الله الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات منهم مغفرة وأجرا عظيما. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. All praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sustainer of the universe, and salutation and to be the most distinguished of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi wa sallam, on his wives, children and companions. Today the topic would be, inshallah, what should be the response of indecency towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, or Islam in general, in wake of Paris incidents and anything else going on around our world. So as we know, these incidents are not new. We need to look into the seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Quran, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. He is one of the best examples among you as a human. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sent as the best of the example among us. Perfect is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No one else is perfect besides Allah. Allah has the knowledge for everything. We have a limited knowledge. Allah has the knowledge for all. Even all the Anbiya they came with the knowledge, whatever Allah wants them to have the knowledge. There is knowledge which Allah kept up to Himself and did not even reveal to the Anbiya as well. So that's our belief, and we should believe in that as well. So the only creation or only thing we can say is the perfect among all, whatever here, seen, unseen, and everything, that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything else has imperfection. And one of the best of the example among us, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent it in the shape of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. As you know, the tarbiyah starts from Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam, where we are the progeny of Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam. And when Adam alayhi salam was descended from heaven to this earth, so he started asking for the repentance. He was asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, oh Allah, forgive me. Then Allah sent the Hidayah and Allah forgive him. And there other Anbiya came in there. So that was like a child, you can say, as a child born, so you give the tarbiyah from cradle to up until his death or her death. So that was our progeny starts from Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam. So tarbiyah started from there. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent a lot of scrolls or scriptures to the previous Anbiya to give the tarbiyah, to educate the people, to convey the knowledge. And they tried to convey the knowledge, and when it progressed on and on and on, when it comes to the time, then when the knowledge was there, people had the knowledge, and then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sent as the last Nabi to conclude all the knowledge, all the teaching what was going on from Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam. Even before that. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him one of the highest status among all the Anbiya. Rasulullah. So these all incidents, as we see, it happens during the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When he was there, people used to insult him in front of him. People used to insult him, talk bad about him. Na'udhu billah, called him magician, called him several other names, which we are so ashamed as the Ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we are so ashamed to even call those words utter those words from our tongue. Those words were being called. But what was the response of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? He says, I've been sent as a rahmatul lil alameen. My response is to still send the rahmah on them. And give them the good, glad tidings. If you do good, you'll get the good in this dunya and hereafter as well. But if you're doing good, this is for your own. If you do something bad, you will have to pay in this dunya and hereafter you have a severe penalty for that one, or punishment for that. And during the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when people used to come and insult him, he used to educate them. That was the most important fact of his life. He said, my job is to give the teaching, to pass the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm no one to force anyone to revert to Islam. All I do is, I convey the message. And Hidayah comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't you see the examples of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his own relative, his own uncle? Abu Jahl is a prime example in front of you. If it was up to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he would have forced first and foremost his own beloved, close relatives to accept Islam. By advising or by forcing. He didn't force anyone. Yes, he advised them. This is the right path. But in response to that, what happened? Abu Jahl, what he did? He was the most ardent enemy of Islam. And he died in the same state. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even revealed the surah, which talks about Tabbat yada Abi Lahab. And it talks about that, what will be the punishment for one of this person, Abu Jahl. And he will be severely punished. Not in this dunya, but he will be severely punished thereafter as well. And then we need to take the example. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was there in the masjid. He was sitting with the Sahaba Karam, with his own followers, and a person came and walked in the masjid. Then he starts urinating. And people, the Sahaba Karam, they got so annoyed, they got up, they were so upset, they want to go and beat him up and probably kill him. But what Rasulullah said, no, let him do what he's doing. Let him finish what he's doing. But when he finished all that, and then he asked the Sahaba Quran to bring the water and just pour over it. Just clean it. So he cleaned it, and after that he called this person. He says, listen, what we do here is do the ibadah. We come here to learn the deen. And we come here for the prayer and all this, zikr azkar and all those things. So that was the tarbiyah. If it was up to us, if someone walked up in this masjid, even Rasulullah is not there, we are Muslims, right? If someone walk up here, what will be our state? Someone start doing the same. If not all, some people will teach him lessons, right? We need to check our heart, where we stand. So that's our tolerance. That's our tolerance. And that was the tolerance and tarbiyah of Rasulullah. He said, don't do anything. But after that, he said, okay, this is the best way to do it. Educate him. And with his akhlaq, people accepted Islam. People accepted Islam because of his akhlaq. People were there during the time of Rasulullah. They used to call him what not. And then he said, no, be patient. This is all test, trials, tribulation of this world, and we need to be patient. We need to educate them. Now take the example of us. If same thing happens in front of us, people are insulting Islam, people are insulting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, talking bad of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What do you think? Allah did not have a capability, cannot send the adab on them, and says, okay, khalas, go finish them off. Allah has done in the past. We know the generations and generations were destroyed. Because of what? Because of disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commandments. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I give them respite. I give them respite, let them go. Like elastic, let them go. But what happens? The connection is what? Connection is again at the end of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as soon as someone goes far enough with the elastic, and when the time comes, it's just one pull. That's it. You know elastic, what the behavior elastic is. You keep stretching, it doesn't matter how best of the elastic in the world you get. When it goes, it has a limit. At the end of it, If you leave, it comes flying right back to you. And you get something back and bang, and you say, okay, I got hurt. This is the example I would say. This is the example of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Keep giving them, go, do whatever. Plunge more deeper in error. But at the end, when He just pulled the rope, they have nowhere to go. Allah says, I have given intellect to this human creation. Allah says, I have given you the free will. You go in this dunya with the free will, and whatever you do in this dunya, you will get reward probably in this dunya, and hereafter definitely you'll get either punishment or reward you'll get. So there's no way person say, okay, I'll keep doing and there's no punishment for that. There is punishment. And this is, if people talk bad about Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they talk bad out of ignorance. They're ignorant people. Then Rasulullah said, when they talk bad, they say, leave them alone. They're ignorant. They don't know. They don't know what they're talking about. And, you know, and we know the incident. There were several in the past as well. There were several in the past. Some person named Sam Basil, and he stood up and he started talking bad about it. And he says, you know, he talked bad about Rasulullah in Islam. What happened? What happened? If we start responding the same tone, the tone they are adapting, so what's the difference between them and us? Where's your akhlaq? Look into that matter. The one I just presented the example, the person urinating the masjid in front of you. What if Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is right here in front of you, sitting right in front of you, and same thing happened? What would be his response? Don't you think his response would be different than what he has done in that time? His response would be same. So why would it be different now this time? We claim as a ummati of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and our response is more than that. Yes, we need to, with all these incidents, whatever happened in Paris and others and all those, our blood could boil on it. Our heart bleeds on it. But there's a way to protect it. وَجَادِلْهُمْ بِالَّتِي أَحْسَنُ. Debate with them in the best possible manner. Convey the knowledge. That's most important. Convey the knowledge, educate them. And still there will be people who will be talking bad about them anyway, you know. And is it our responsibility after that if you convey the message and they don't get the message? This time of Rasulullah, several people, they die as a disbeliever. And we know, according to the teaching, we know if we die in state of disbelief, where will be your state at the end? That's not our call. Let's leave it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be the judge. As it says, Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anhu once came to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said, he was very frank. I mean, he came and he asked Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, I love you more than everything except myself. Since he was very frank, so he used to talk frankly as well. So he said, I love you more than everything except my life, except myself. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he replied, until you love me more than everything, you have not attained the complete faith. So he went back and came back again. And he says, O Rasulullah, I love you more than everything, even my life. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied, no, you have attained the complete faith. So this is the teaching. We cannot, as a Muslim, we cannot attain the completion of our faith until we love Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam more than anything else. And this is the same Umar. This is the same Umar before accepting Islam. He was the most ardent enemy of Islam. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam even prayed for those two people. He was one of them. Oh Allah, change their heart, change their state. If they come to the fold of Islam, Islam will get more benefit. And now, subhanallah, we talked about Umar, radiallahu anhu, mashallah, his way, the way he does, a lot of things established. A lot of success came from Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu. During his time of Khilafat, a lot of things established. This social system, this justice system, a lot of them in a proper form, he established it. Policing today we call. He says this country is one of the best in the policing, or Western country is one of the best. Where did we start it from? Don't you know the history? Hazrat Umar is the one who established this policing system. He established that he says there should be a police, there should be people who should guard, protect all these things. And now we claim, or this society at least claims, or this or Western world, they say, well, we have the most wonderful policing system in the world. We are the most civilized people. Don't you see the love and affection and mahabba of Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu? And he was there. The way he used to love Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Don't we know that when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the news came that he passed away, he died. So he stood up. He said, if anyone says, I'm going to chop your head off. And Hazrat Abu Bakr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given the knowledge to these fellows, these Sahaba Karam of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he then reminded in the ayah, he says, don't you see Muhammad was killed and will you change your state after that? So more or less that's mafhum. And then he immediately realized, no, okay, I forgot about that. So he stepped down and said, okay. That was the state, that was the love and mahabba. What is our love and mahabba? Bilal radiallahu anhu, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed away. Bilal radiallahu anhu, he could not stay in that same town after that because it's such a strong bond with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because of love and affection, he said, I cannot stay in this town. I feel like lonely or whatever. He left that town. He went to the other town. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came in his dream. And he says, oh Bilal, you don't come and pay me respect again? What happened to you? You have not come in a while. So he woke up and he started rushing back to Medina. He came back to Medina and he said, Rasulullah is calling me. And he went and he started looking in several places wherever Rasulullah. He couldn't find Rasulullah anywhere. Then he went and sat in front of the grave of Rasulullah. Suddenly he starts crying. And he got to that much that he got fainted out of that. He got fainted out of that. By this time, the people of Medina, they heard about it that Bilal is back in town. And they know Bilal has a special connection, with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They came rushing to him and they said, okay, Bilal, can you not give the adhan of that time? When you used to give the adhan, we used to feel something. So we want to give the adhan. He says, well, I cannot give the adhan. I cannot give the adhan. I'm sorry. Because when I used to say, Ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah, Muhammad was in front of me. No, he's not there, I cannot give. So they asked Hassan Hussain, can you do Sifara, Sifara, can you do and see if maybe you can convince him? And because when he's going to say it, he's not going to refuse. So Hassan went up to him and he said, oh Bilal, don't you give the adhan the way you used to give when Rasulullah was there? My granddad was there. So he couldn't refuse. He stood up, started giving the adhan. And it came in narration. It says his voice was, mashallah, one of the unique. When he started doing Allahu Akbar, with every pitch, every next kalama, every next recitation what he's saying, his pitch goes high and high and high. When he started going, when he reached up to, he says in narration came, when he reached to Ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah, he could not go beyond that. So he went fainted again. That was love and affection. Suhail bin Amr, he was the international negotiator of his time. So he used to go to different emperorships whenever something happens. He says, go and negotiate and see if you can cut a deal. So he used to go there. He was sent to go and cut a deal with Rasulullah because his Islam was promoting. And at that time he says, go and see what exactly this whole group is doing. What is the kingdomship of Rasulullah? Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he went and he looked at it. He came back. He says, listen to his word, what he's telling. He's saying, I've been to emperorship of Abyssinia, Egypt and all those. But what I've seen, the muhabba, the respect of these followers of Rasulullah, I've never seen in any kingdom. He's doing the wudu and his droplets won't fall and people will rush to collect that off. They won't let it drop on the ground. So this was the love and affection of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the heart of all those sadaqah. So if we claim ourselves as a ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, first and foremost, we need to look ourselves in the mirror and see what exactly we are doing to imitate Rasulullah. Are we closer to him or are we away from his teaching? If we are closer to him, always, whenever you think in terms of that, for any anger or anything, you need to respond to anything, look into mirror and see what if Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was among you right here. what would be his response? What he used to do. So that's the way we need to respond in the same thing. On the same token, people who think this is free speech. Yes, you are destined to go do whatever you want to do, free speech. But we need to, as a human, we need to listen and understand your liberty, your free speech limit is where your nose ends. Then it's someone else's limit starts. As a journalist, what is journalism? I already quote, and I said in the past as well, I said, journalism, someone like to do the journalism means they want to report the facts. They want to report the facts. They have the greater responsibility, so they need to produce the facts. You don't want to gossip. If you mock, you do something, it could be mockery, it could be gossip, it's not news. And if there are followers for them, they are followers for them. You cannot change their heart. If Rasulullah could not change the heart of those disbelievers when he was around there, no one else can change the heart of anyone else. Yes, they did something bad. But what someone claimed is debatable, either what they did was right or wrong. But what I'm saying is, what they did in retaliation, what they did, you put more of your brothers and sisters in harm's way. How many of you know 50 plus masajids have been attacked already? There are several people, they've been killed because of that. It was right or wrong, debatable. It was right or wrong, debatable. But what happened in response to that? You put our other people in harm's way. So before we take or say anything, even in local level, we talk to someone, we need to, our job is to educate them about Islam. And no one knows how much ibadah you do. Ibadah is between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If it's not a raya qari, if it's not a raya, it's between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah does not like this all. Show up. You do ibadah, you do tahajjud, you do nafla, extra, whatever, song, whatever, it's all in you. People will judge you by your character. People will judge you by your akhlaq. If people came to the fold of Islam, they came to the fold of Islam because of the akhlaq of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Don't we see the example of Fatih Makkah? Don't we see the example of Fatih Makkah? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam walked in, and people were so fearful. People were so fearful, what will happen to them? There were people who were brutally killed, the close relative of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the other Sahaba Karam. But what happened? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put a rahmah in the heart of the Muslimin. So that when they walked in, they did not have any anger and grudge. And Rasulullah gives the special instructions, don't kill any innocent. Don't kill a woman. Don't kill a child. Don't kill anyone who doesn't attack you. And Rasulullah, when they came, they said, what do you expect from me? He said, we expect from you rahmah, forgiveness. He said, okay, I'll forgive you. He forgive for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look in you, check your own heart. We need to check our own heart. If it happens to us, if someone does those kind of things in front of us and walk in front of us, what will be our response? You don't need to give an answer. We have answers in our heart. We don't have courage. It's very hard to forgive. So these all incidents is going to happen. It's going to go on. They will insert. They think they will insert. And I give the example, I said it's like a barking dog. The job of the dog is to bark. That's characteristics of the dog. You cannot compete with them. You cannot sit in front of dog and says, okay, let's have battle together, or let's have bahas together. You know, you keep barking in front of dog. At the end, someone has to give up. Guess what? Who's going to give up? We have to give up. Because we are not dog. We are not animal. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put a brain in you and give intellect. So think about it. So you give up. Because they're going to go on and on and on. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq to learn the correct deen. The most important is we cannot convey the message if we don't understand ourselves. We need to learn ourselves before go and educate someone else. And people, as I said, people will judge you by your akhlaq. They don't know. They don't want to know. No one wants to know how much ibadah someone is doing. This is between you and Allah. If you're doing for someone to look into, then we have some problem. Then it's a show-off. Allah does not like the show-off. Allah is not in need of our ibadah. We are in need of ibadah to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what respect we have for the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, people cannot understand. People from the one who is not, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not changed their heart, they cannot even come closer to the grasp of it. They cannot understand. Rasulullah is not among us, but when we take the name of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, something happens. Something happens. Tear comes out of your eyes because of love and mahabbah. So we need to continue the love and mahabbah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and keep forgiving these people and pray for them. Because if Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he would have prayed for Umar to come to the fold of Islam, we can do the same. Current modern day and time examples, people are there. People who were anti-Islam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has changed their heart. And they are giving the great of the benefit of Islam. As of now. There are tons of examples. I don't have time to go in that, but you can look it up. قولوا قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين.